So this is a collaborative project called Compass to Now Here, Compass to Nowhere. And it comes from the idea of auto-creating and publishing our own information. And when I say our, I mean the project I did with Patricia Wen and Joseph Josue Mora, and all three of us have been connected to community work at several capacities. So for me, this is kind of like a love letter go recalling and thinking through settlement, resettlement, and unsettlement in Chicago history. So really looking at the ways in which spaces are embodied by the people that do justice work, and how even when areas or sections in Chicago are gentrified or people have to resettle, these values and these ideals stay with us, and we carry them and we fight with them and for them. So Compass to Now Here is this book. We have about maybe 25 or I guess 30 at this point that we've folded and put together. And it uses the symbol of a compass at the very front page to orient people into thinking about the ways in which we resist, the ways in which we rest, or play, and thinking about labor organizing from the perspective of 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours for what we will. So there's a lot embedded in these little books, and a lot of citations of resettlement of Indigenous history. And for me, it's sort of like, how do we take this content and make it more than just archival, but make it something that lives beyond the paper, right? And that's where I go back to that idea of how we embody these values, and no matter where we settle, resettle, or become unsettled, these histories are already such a big part of who we are that it's a reminder, but it's also sort of like a way to propel us to continue the work. So I don't know if that was very clear. I feel like I'm just trying to remember how these concepts came about, but this particular installation is, I really wanted people to answer a few different prompts that I had for them in terms of how they situate themselves within the history of Chicago and what are the complex histories within that. So that's why you see those little postcards that look kind of like library catalog cards, for people to feel like they're a part of cataloging and archiving their own stories within Chicago history.